All right, welcome back. So I woke up sick this morning and just got a stuffy head. My throat is sore. My airways are kind of rusty, and overall I just feel fucking weak. Even last night I was sitting at the dinner table and I just felt like if I were to close my eyes for a couple of seconds, I could just fucking doze off and fall asleep. Which I'm never sick, so it feels really weird. I'm never ever sick. I get sick maybe once or maybe twice a year usually, and it sucks. But what I noticed was this morning I woke up, right? I still didn't feel good. Matter of fact, I felt worse than last night. And I still decided to make a plan for myself. I still decided that I was going to show up to the call that I had with my client, Toby, which I just got done, about, making sure that he's got his diet on point and making sure that he's consistently going to continue getting the results that he's been getting, finally losing the weight. And I decided to still go to this apartment, still record this YouTube video, and I've still got stuff planned to, record some content for my Instagram, get more value pushed out to you guys. And I noticed, right, as I was doing this, as I got off the call and as I was taking action while sick, I realized the old me would never have done that. Because me last year, or me the past couple of years, but even me last year, I wouldn't have even almost seen it as an option to still put in the work when I'm sick. And I've always found it so weird. Even growing up, my parents would always tell me, we're so fortunate, we're so lucky to be where we're at, because there's people doing way worse than us. There's always someone worse, whether it be physically, there's people that have disabilities or financially there are people that are struggling, and there's always going to be someone worse, right? There's always going to be someone worse. There's always going to be someone below you. But why compare to someone that's below you when you can compare to people that are above? Because there are so many people doing better than you as well. So why compare to the people below that are only going to limit your beliefs, that are only going to hold you back from getting better because you think that where you're at is so great, even though you're not even happy with where you're at? Why should you be happy with where you're at when you're not happy with where you're at? That's the standard. That's the standard that I'm talking about. You've got a standard. You're telling yourself that you should be happy with where you're at, but you're not happy with where you're at. So to justify it, you compare to the people below you. You compare to the people that are doing worse off than you. There's always going to be someone that's heavier than you. There's always going to be someone that's more bloated than you. There's always going to be someone that's struggling financially more than you. But why compare to them when comparing to them is only going to hold you back from improving? And you're not even happy with where you're at. You'd like to improve, right? Well, if you like to improve, then stop coping and saying, oh, but I'm so fortunate. And yes, there's a level of being grateful with where you're at. Yes, be grateful that, you're not born with a disability, or be grateful that, you get to do the things that you're doing. Absolutely. But when you tell yourself that you're fine and you don't need to change and you're using it as a coping mechanism because there's always going to be someone worse off than you, you're only holding yourself back. You are. And that's what I've been, told growing up. There's always people doing worse, and that's not going to make me better. And I understand it though. I get it. Yes, there are people doing worse, but it's not going to make me better. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get better physically. I'm trying to get better financially. So I don't care if there are people doing worse than me. I don't want to compare myself with that, because that's only going to make me feel better about myself. So when I'm struggling and thinking about why I should even continue what I'm doing, and I don't want to put in the work, but I got to find a way to still get myself to do it. And if I'm in those moments thinking, oh, there's people doing worse off, I'm so fortunate, I'm so lucky, I'm great, I'm not going to put in that work, and I'm supposed to do it. So I'm never going to improve, right? And when you set these higher standards for yourself and you realize that you can do so much more than what you see around you, your quality of life improves so much. Because I wouldn't have worked a year ago, and I would have sat around, watched a movie, ate some breakfast, maybe have a cookie here and there because, I'm sick and I'm feeling comfortable, right? And I would have done that, but now I've got a higher standard for myself, and with that, I'm actually improving as I'm sick, and I'm improving and I'm still moving forward as I'm going. Set a higher standard and realize that where you're at can be better. And if you're 50 pounds, 100 pounds overweight, you can be better. And yeah, you could, I mean, how ridiculous would it sound to say, yeah, you're 300 pounds, but there's someone that's 400 pounds? That just sounds ridiculous to me, right? Am I the only one? No, right? So why are you doing that with your daily action? Why, when you're sick, why would you not still put it, and get me wrong, rest physically. I'm not gonna go on a run now, that would be stupid because I'm sacrificing my health with that. But you get what I'm saying though, right? You get the point. Set a higher standard for yourself. You can do more than you think you can, and especially when you look at what people around you say you can do. Because yes, you can lose that 50 pounds. Yes, you can lose that 100 pounds. And okay, there might be someone that's heavier or fat or whatever, but why would you not be able to? I mean, there's someone that's 180 pounds, athletic as fuck, running every day, lifting heavy ass weights, heavier than you could even imagine. So why would you not compare to that person? And why are you comparing yourself to people that are doing worse than you? Because that way it's just a way to feel better about yourself. It's just a way to lower your standards, thinking, oh, my standard is here and I'm here, so I'm great. No, if you're here right now, put your standard over here and watch how you slowly or fast catch up to there, and your standard is now here. That's what I've done over the past year, is I've realized that I can do so much more than what I'm seeing around me. Even as I'm feeling my heart rate or my heartbeat in my fucking head right now, I'm still doing what I want to do. And I'm still doing what I realized that if I record this video, and it's not even like, I mean, I don't script my videos, right? I just try to teach you what I'm thinking and try to give you insights which you haven't really gotten, and I'm trying to give you the mental confidence that you can do whatever the fuck you want as long as you put in the daily work and the daily action every single day. And part of that is raising your standards, because if your standards are lower than where you want to get to, you're not going to get to where you want to get to. If you want to be the guy that's 180 pounds, running around, athletic, going on multiple runs, running 10K, 15K, 10 miles, whatever, lifting heavy weights, feeling great, looking in the mirror, thinking, wow, I'm so proud of where I've gone, eating clean meals, having self-respect and confidence when taking off your shirt in the beach. If you want to be able to be that guy, your standard should not be at, oh, I'm good, okay, there's people doing worse than me at 300 pounds. Come on, man. Come on. Or whatever weight you're at. Even if you're 10 pounds overweight or 20 pounds overweight, right? Even if you have a little bit of a gut or a bloated face, you can improve. You can get better. Why would your standard be where you're at? Yes, there are people that are obese, but why compare to them when there are people that are extremely athletic, when there are people with shredded abs? Why not compare to them and be like them? Because that's where you want to be, right? Higher your standards. You shouldn't be happy with where you're at if you're not where you want to be. I mean, am I crazy for saying that? You don't have to be happy with where you're at, right? You don't have to be. I'm not happy with where I'm at. Am I proud of how far I've come? Yes. Yes, I've been working hard. I'm happy with how far I've come, but I'm not happy with where I am because I've got a place to be. And that's not weird to say. And that doesn't mean that I can't be joyful, I can't be happy with my life until I get to a certain goal, because you shouldn't measure happiness with getting to a goal, but you get what I'm saying. And when you compare to people around you who are all living in kind of the same environment, meeting kind of the same people with the same standards roughly, right? You get stuck in like this standard lock where there's just a certain norm and that's just what's normal, right? And that's why you'll see people who, if you work out, imagine you were to start working out 7 days a week, right? Imagine that. I mean, which is a lot, but still, that's not crazy if you program it the right way. Imagine you were to work out 7 days a week. The people around you would say, bro, you're overtraining. Oh, bro, wow. I mean, your family, your friends, your people around you would label you as probably maybe even unhealthy. Like, oh, you've gone way too far on this. You're going too extreme. You're extreme. But when you ask someone, a marathon runner, when you ask someone that's super in shape and you're saying to them, hey, I'm working out 7 days a week now and I'm feeling great, I'm eating clean, they would say, good fucking shit. Awesome. Amazing. Keep that up. They praise you for it. They want you to get better. Because they realized that, they also broke out of their standards, and they realized that they can do much more than the people around them say they can. Especially when those people around you are not doing anything. Imagine you're telling someone that you're going to be working out 7 days a week, but they're working out not 0 times a week. They're going to tell you that you're overtraining and you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Watch out, you're going to get overtrained. You're going to break your fucking legs or your muscles or whatever, right? Whatever. Like, apologies for that rant. I didn't just kind of start losing the words here, but I'm just saying, like, you can do more. Stop comparing to people below you when there are people doing better than you, right? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me. Why would you believe something that's holding you back when you can believe something that can make you better? When you can get to your goals, looking at someone that's athletic, instead of comparing yourself to someone that's obese, someone that's doing worse than you. It doesn't make sense to me. Point is, raise your standards, because when you raise your standards, possibilities open up. What's possible changes. Your vision of what you can do changes. Literally, you make impossible things possible by raising your standards because you realize that you can do it. Right? It makes so much sense to me. And when you raise your standard, you can do much more. And when you raise your standards, it's actually easier to take action because your norm is different. When you surround yourself, people say this all the time, right? If you surround yourself with, imagine you surround yourself with 5 millionaires, you'll be the 6th one. Or if you surround yourself with 5 athletes, you'll be the 6th one, right? You are who you surround yourself. You are the norm of the people that you hang around with. And when you hang around with people that, have limiting beliefs and who believe that getting to your goals, whatever goals you have, whatever aspirations you have is unrealistic or impossible or just not really for us or only for the fortunate ones or whatever, you're not going to get there. So instead, watch these YouTube videos. Because I set a higher standard for myself and I believe that I can do some shit that so many people deem as impossible. And I know you want that too, because when you unlock this, when you have this, you get a self-confidence and you get the ability to do so much more. And you get the ability to actually build out the life that you know you want to have. You actually build out the body that you want to have and build the mindset and the confidence and all these things, all these traits and things that you want to have and do. It becomes possible through standard, through your mind. Otherwise, if you think it's impossible, it is impossible. But guess what? You can all make it possible through believing. So higher your standard, raise the bar, and live up to that. All right? DM me on Instagram if you want any help. I don't know what your goals are. Maybe physically you want to lose weight or gain weight or build muscle or lose fat or whatever it is, whatever struggles you have, DM me on Instagram. I'm always there to give you advice, to help you out. And if you want one-on-one coaching by me, which is also something I do, I'd recommend you reach out to me only if you're genuinely ready and committed to start. I only work with guys who genuinely want to make a change. If you don't actually want it, there's no point. So yeah, dreams don't work unless you do, so fucking work for it. Come on, I'm being serious. Like, genuinely, you can do so much more than you think. Raise your standard and you will make shit possible that seems impossible. All right? Dreams don't work unless you do, so fucking work for it. Let's go.